Blog Talk Radio.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Cy Brown and welcome to the Cy Brown Fitness Podcast. It is Memorial Day weekend. Wepa! As my friend Atifa would say, this is the weekend of celebration, the official kickoff of summer, time for hot dogs and hamburgers. And for those of you on the fitness journey like me, this weekend ain't going to be a good weekend, y'all. My husband and I were in the backyard yesterday weeding, and I am blessed to have a pretty big backyard, and I've been telling my husband we need to start, getting the backyard ready. We need to start getting the backyard ready, and we put it off. And with all the rain, April showers bring May flowers, the weeds were up to damn near my waist. So we had to weed before we could even cut the grass. And so it was a pleasure and a blessing to wake up this morning to a nice backyard that had, an eighth of an inch of grass. But there's still so many other things you have to get ready if you're going to have company, and we are having company tomorrow. So I have a lot of work to do. So on that note, let me jump in and share some really good information about food safety. This is a very big issue. Hospitals get a lot of people that are sick in those urgent care centers because people do not prepare food properly. So it's very, very important if you're going to a picnic, go to a cookout. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm cooking out, but I do what my grandmother said. My grandmother said, eat before you go. And that way, I know it sounds probably crazy, but eat before you leave. Get something to eat that you prepared, that you cooked, that will fill you up. So that way you can go and more socialize instead of eating everything that you see in front of you. Don't go hungry. As a trainer and somebody who tries not to be a fat, juicy girl anymore, please make sure you don't go anywhere to eat hungry. That is diet killer number one. So listen, if you are on any type of meal plan, your best bet, if you don't feel comfortable taking your own food with you, prepare your food at home, eat before you go, and then when you get there, have a piece of chicken, pull the skin off, and you can, pull that. Have salad. Try not to go heavy with the salad dressings. Go for more like a vinaigrette. If you're going to drink, go for a spritzer as opposed to a beer. Try to stay away from the real sweet and sugary drinks because that's going to slow your metabolism. We talk about that all the time. But getting back to the food safety, bring your own if you can, but and if you are cooking out, because the last thing you want is people to come to your house and get sick. So let me just share a couple of things, a couple of tips that you can do when you're cooking on the grill. Use separate cutting boards for utensils, for raw meat, ready-to-eat items such as vegetables or bread, because you do not want to mix. So if you're cutting meat on a cutting board, do not cut your vegetables and your bread on the same cutting board. It probably sounds really simple and obvious, but you know what? When you're in the kitchen and you have 30 people to prepare food for, you may get careless. Just be mindful. And that's all I'm doing, just giving you that little gentle nudge, like that little angel on your shoulder, to be ever mindful. Also, foods that need to be kept cold include raw meat, poultry, seafood, deli, lunch meat, sandwiches, summer salads like tuna salad, egg salad, pasta, seafood, fruit, perishables. Keep that stuff refrigerated as long as possible. And if not, put it on ice. You can get like a big piece of dry ice and put it in a cooler, because if it's like, I know I'm here in New York, so it's supposed to be 82 tomorrow. That's not super, super hot, but I sure wouldn't want egg salad just sitting out on a table. There's ants, there's flies, but we also just want people to be healthy, and we don't want people getting sick off of sour egg salad. So just if that stuff needs to be kept cold, keep it cold. Put it in ice, put it in a cooler, and I actually use disposable coolers. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm a tree hugger, so I'm always trying to protect the environment, but I use those styrofoam coolers, and I use styrofoam coolers, and then I put containers in the styrofoam coolers, so that kind of helps also. Also, a full cooler will maintain its temperature longer than a partially filled one. So when using a cooler, keep it out of direct sunlight and just try to keep it as full as possible. Have one of the kids keep it full. Put them on cooler duty or something like that. Give them kids something to do. And try not to, open and close it. I remember when Hurricane Sandy hit this area in 2012. I'm recording this in 2015, so this was 3 years ago. One of the first things they said was try not to open your refrigerator door, or try to keep opening your refrigerator door to a minimum, obviously to try to keep the food as cold as possible. So tell the kids, the little kiddies, get yourself something to drink and stop going in and out of the cooler. I know kids love sodas. If you can you get them like juice boxes? So first of all, they're better for the environment than the tin cans. I can't stand those straws because, again, many of them are not biodegradable. Or you can just buy juice and put them like in little like the little cups, and you can put them in the cooler, and then the kids can recycle them. So, try that also. We want to just make sure that the food and your salads and your beverages are as healthy as possible, and you're keeping it as safe as possible. Last thing I just want to share with you, make sure you use paper plates. My friends, they are going to rag me on this, because anybody that knows me, if you ever come to my house or ever come to anything that I host, I never, ever, not never, ever, use paper for anything ever. You will never find paper plates, styrofoam plates, plastic forks, cups, or knives in my house. But in a situation like this, use paper plates for your serving utensils and for your guests, because it makes cleanup much easier, and you don't want dentally mixed foods that you may be cooking raw on a plate that somebody's going to eat on. So just use a paper plate. It's clean. It's more sanitary, just for the cookout. That does not mean you come into my house, you're eating off a paper plate, because that's just not happening. But in this instance, this is totally fun, totally acceptable, and it's really, really just about food safety. So I want everybody to have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be barbecuing, and then I'm going shopping. So I don't know what you're going to do, so tweet me. Let me know what you're doing this Memorial weekend. Let's have fun. Let's stay on this fitness journey together. Let's stay healthy as long as we can, as long as possible. Share our good fortune and share the love with everybody that we know. Always remember that we shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that we can do, or any kindness that we can show to any human being, let us do it now. Let us not defer or neglect it, for we shall not pass this way again. I will see you soon, and don't forget to follow me on Cy Brown Fitness. Thanks for listening, and have an awesome, awesome Memorial weekend.